Have you read that Mystic Messenger fanfic where like I think MC turns into a cat?
No, what?
And June takes care of her.
Dude, I would turn into a cat just to have Jim and Han take care of me.
Honestly, I want to be a cat, like regardless of June and Han taking care of me, because I don't know, life is hard.
But wait, that means Zen wouldn't be able to romance you because he's allergic to cats.
Oh my God, you're right. Yay.
Let's start this.
Worlds collide. I'm here with Cindy, our literary genius of YouTube, here to impart her knowledge of tropes and apply it to fanfiction.
Yeah, I'm super excited to be here, especially because, you know, I left a comment on your last video and everyone was like, oh my God, do a video collab. And I was like, haha, little do you know, we were already planning this.
Cooley does things with Cindy. It's official.
Yep. That's our very, very long ship name.
Keep an eye out on Twitter for like all the fan art incoming. I can
see it already.
Wait a minute. We should have fan fiction with the tropes that we pick for this video.
Dude.
Oh my God. We're gonna start our own fandom. It's gonna be crazy.
I dig it.
But I asked Cindy to be here because she is very knowledgeable about, you know, like literary tropes. And that has a lot of overlap with fanfiction tropes. But there are some, I think, very interesting differences in that Venn diagram going on.
So our worlds are colliding here. I mean, I used to read fan fiction before I read books.
Can I ask what type of fanfiction you read back in the day?
Oh my God, no, this will be so embarrassing. Okay, wait. So, okay, I primarily read Ouran High School Host Club fanfiction. I cut my hair short because of Haruhi. Like I was obsessed with the anime. I used to write my own as well.
Did you like ship people in Ouran?
Oh yes. Okay, so when I read fanfiction, I read primarily just for like the romance so that I can just project myself. For Ouran, it was Tamaki and Haruhi. I think Tamaki was like, it really opened the path for me to really enjoying himbos. And like, ever since then, I just love the dynamic of the dumb idiot and the really like smart, no nonsense girl.
So I asked you guys on my community tab for a bunch of would you rather questions for fanfic, and today me and Cindy are going to be answering a lot of them, as well as some of our own questions for each other. And I have a secret stash of questions that I hope Cindy does not hit me for asking her.
You know, I feel like we can start with a really simple one, which is kind of like the age-old question. Friends to lovers or enemies to lovers?
Okay, so I am very partial to friends to lovers just because I love that transition of like, oh, I know this person so well, we're good friends and we do everything together, to like, wait, where did these new feelings come from? Oh no, I can't ruin our friendship, and then the pining ensues.
Yes, that's like peak pining and yearning. I'm pretty much the same way, where I was never really into enemies to lovers. I feel like that's really hard to pull off. Whereas friends to lovers, I think I just like them because I really like couples that get along and they like form a good team together and they're very supportive of one another. Like if enemies to lovers is done well, I feel like I would enjoy it when they finally get along. So then it's still like within the same realm of why I enjoy friends to lovers.
Just mutual adoration. And that's like enemies to friends to lovers, you know? Would you rather be forced to watch a terrible movie adaptation of your favorite fanfic or an amazing adaptation of your least favorite fanfic?
I wrote this down and I didn't even consider what my answer would be.
I will say that if I had to watch a terrible movie adaptation of my favorite fanfic, I think I'd die inside. If there was an amazing adaptation of my least favorite fanfic, at least I'm not super invested in this. But hey, it turned out okay.
Maybe I'll be chaotic and just pick the first option, because even though it would be painful to get through, it would still be content, you know? So I would just do like a reaction video for it. So at least I can profit off of my pain.
But could you actually sit through like an Avatar The Last Airbender-esque movie adaptation?
I mean, we might be seeing that soon on Netflix.
I pretend to.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, you're right. Maybe I'm speaking this into existence. I don't know. This is hard. I'm going to go with like the first one though. Would you rather read fanfic chapters backwards or read them as parsed from Google Translate? So maybe they, you know, went into Chinese or Spanish, and then they had to be translated through multiple languages and then eventually back to English.
So when you say read like fanfic chapter backwards, it would be like end to the start?
Yeah, so you would be reading the last chapter, then you read the second to last chapter, and then, you know, backwards. That's why I'm saying this would be hard.
With this one, I'm thinking like it would totally ruin the story for me if I were to do like backwards to forwards. At least with the Google Translate, it'd be funny to see like all like the hiccups it has.
Right.
And like at least you get a sense of what's going on, you know? With the backwards one, I would just be so lost.
Yeah, I am picking the second option as well. I would rather read it chronologically, even if it's not translated as accurately. I'll just fill in the gaps in my mind.
Consume every fanfic as an audiobook read by a monotone narrator, or have to read on a tiny printed piece of paper written in yellow highlighter.
I'm gonna go with the first one, just because like either experience would be terrible, but from my experience, it's just easier to get through a bad audiobook compared to getting through a bad physical book, if that makes any sense. Yeah, I mean, you just have to put up with, you know, the audiobook narrator, but then you kind of get used to it after a while.
So like with fics nowadays, do you know what like podfics are?
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing. Wow, times have really changed back since like I first started reading fanfic.
Yeah, so people actually like record themselves reading fics for people if they want to listen back to it. But when there's no podfic available for the fic you want, you can always like copy and paste it into a text-to-speech program. That's what I sometimes do if I'm busy, I don't want to read. But the thing is, a lot of like the premium voices ones you have to pay for. So you're often stuck with like the meme sort of voices reading it to you. And as horrible as it is, sometimes you just gotta like live with it.
Would you rather get a tattoo on your body of every fanfic title you've ever read, or never read fanfic again?
Dude, if I did this, I would have no bare skin left. I'd just be like a block of ink.
So for you, I think it would just be layers upon layers of tattoos.
I get ink poisoning or something.
Dude, it would be like 5 times he didn't say I love you. 1 time he did.
There'd be a lot of interesting ones on there. I can tell you that much.
You also have to factor into the pain as well, right?
Oh God, you're right.
But on the other hand, never reading fanfic again. What else can you do during a panini?
Like at this point, fanfic is like my lifeblood getting me through this panini. So, you know what? I might just suck it up and just do. I just have to be big, right? Get a tiny print tattoo.
I mean, it can be tiny, but you know, you read a lot, so it's gonna look like ancient like encryption after a while because it's so like tiny.
I would probably go with the first just because I can't imagine a world right now where there's no fanfiction.
Since I don't really read fanfiction anymore, I would choose the second option, which is to never read it again. But then that's no fun. So I think if I replace it with just like books in general, because I very avidly read books, that's really hard. I think I'm gonna go suffer with you, where every book title I read will be on my body.
The tattoo artists are gonna hate us.
Yeah, but we're giving them money, so.
This next one had me really thinking, and I don't know, like, do you have a gut reaction to this one? But vampire AU or werewolf AU?
Dude, this is easy. This is easy for me. Werewolf all the way, okay? Because I never cared for vampires. I don't want my neck to be bitten, especially like with all my tattoos, that's gonna be a health hazard for them. I'm more partial to werewolves just because I like dogs.
My gut instinct was to say werewolf too. You know, they're cuddly. Yeah, they might get a little stinky sometimes, but it's only like once a month, you know? Full moon. And I don't know if you've delved into like the dirtier aspects of like werewolf AU before.
Oh, wait. Are you talking about, what's it called? Omegaverse?
There's omegaverse, and then there's like the, like the nodding stuff.
Yeah, I discovered nodding from the fanfic trope tier ranking that I did. Yeah, you know what? I feel like that'd be fun. That'd be fun. Let's do it.
Vampires and stuff, like, yeah, it might be sexy for a little bit, like, ooh, like they're a angsty bad boy that can't go in the sun, but that's just like every hot topic in play. You get to the point where they're brooding so much and they're like, woe is me, I'm immortal. It's like, okay, I'm gonna get bored of this really quick.
Yeah, I think you pinpointed why I'm not into vampires, because they tend to be brooding and I don't really care for that. I just feel like we would have more fun with werewolves, with their nodding activities or whatever they do over there.
Think of the cuddles, you know, like the cute cuddles.
Yeah, cool, nodding approved. Would you rather be sold to a boy band or be stuck in a time loop with your love interest?
Can I pick the boy band?
Ooh, I did not consider that.
'Cause if
Okay, what boy band are you thinking of?
BTS.
Oh, no, I can't. This would make it too easy for you. I'm gonna go with like One Direction.
Oh man. Okay, I feel like at least with the first option, I could profit off of it somehow.
Oh, okay. You're thinking my language.
Yeah, I could do like a hey, I'm stuck with One Direction vlog series, and then everyone's gonna be on that, right? But with like the time loop one, we never move forward with anything, and so just be the same thing over and over, and that's not living.
I 100% agree with you, and also I don't want to be stuck in any time loop because of this panini that we've been in. And at least like, you know, with a boy band, they're rich, they got money, you can have fun and just go on, I don't know, jet cruises or whatever they do.
Kill your favorite character or marry your least favorite character.
So I am going to marry my least favorite character just because I don't think I could pull off murdering someone and not getting caught. My head has been stuck on taxes and I owe so much. So maybe I need the marriage benefits anyway with taxes. So I'm gonna go with that.
I do agree in that I don't know if I could go through with like, you know, killing my favorite character and like getting away with it. So I might just go for the second one as well because like, you know, practically get to divorce them and then, or like maybe you form an alliance of sorts and you have like a marriage of convenience.
Yeah. Or what if this is your enemies to lovers?
How the turntables.
Oh, I think this one is cute. Would you rather meet your love interest in a coffee shop AU or a college AU?
It's such a hard question for me because like with college AU, falling in love with someone like in your class, like lecture or maybe like the study group, it's like very cute. But like coffee shop AU, it's also really cute. I might just go with coffee shop just because I had my share of college AU already. So I want something new.
Fun fact for the viewers watching this, Coley and I actually found out that we went to the same college, but we never met. Yeah. So in a way, this is like our college AU. Our paths just never met.
We're two ships in the night just passing by.
I think I would go with your answer as well with coffee shop AU just because I don't really care about meeting my love interest like in, oh, my sushi is here. I'm gonna go with coffee shop AU just because I never really cared about like meeting my love interest in like the workplace or in school. And I like coffee shops just because there's something so wholesome about it. Obviously, like not in real life, probably because those workers are underpaid and overworked. But in a fictional setting, there's just something so wholesome.
Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the questions that you guys asked us. So some of you guys were really mean. Some of these are really hard to answer.
Bring it.
Would you rather have your fic history leaked or never read another piece of fan content or fanfic again?
Oh, I feel like this is hard for me to answer because, you know, I don't really read fan fiction anymore. So I would have to replace it with books. But having my book history leaked is not the same thing as like having your fanfic history leaked.
Okay, what about having your fanfic history leaked from when you were like 14?
Oh, dude, I read a lot of weird when I was 14. Leaked to the public? I feel like people would judge me.
I don't think I read that much weird stuff, but there are some questionable things that I know I get judged for. But at the same time, never being able to read fanfic again, like I can't risk that. And I feel like with the videos I've made in the past, I think people know like my taste in fic already, so it shouldn't be too much of a surprise to like see some of the stuff that comes up.
I think I'm gonna go with, I'm gonna go ahead and have my fic history leaked because, you know, when you're on the internet, people will judge you anyway. And hopefully they will be more forgiving towards my 14-year-old self who was, you know, dealing with something.
Would you rather only be able to read amazing fan fiction, but it always has an mpreg plot twist, or only read fan fiction for the rest of your life? Dude,
I'm gonna go with mpreg because I think if it's amazing fan fiction, maybe it will get me to enjoy mpreg.
With mpreg, I'm not immediately opposed to it. It's surprise mpreg that gets me like, what the heck? If I know the plot twist is coming though, then I can like, you know, be like, oh, okay, so like at least I know it's in here. Shitty fan fiction for the rest of my life is just
like if you're gonna read it for the rest of your life, then what's the point? Okay, cool. Team mpreg.
This one made me laugh. Would you rather read the gay ship or the straight ship?
Why not both?
Both is good. Yeah, it just depends on the ship. Like, or
honestly, yeah, it really depends.
Yeah, like I don't go into ships going like, oh, I like this ship because it's gay or because it's straight. I go into ships in that I like the dynamics between these people and they happen to be both boys or both girls or like like it's just about the dynamic and how they like know each other and get along. It's never about like the gender, if that makes sense.
I feel weird with just picking like, ooh, I only want to read gay ships or I only want to read the straight.
Would you rather ship a rare pair with almost no content or a pair with lots of content but almost all of it is cracky nightmare smut?
I think I'm gonna go with my rare pair with almost no content. I used to read fanfic of Shadow Hearts, and that's like a very obscure video game. So like it was very rare for me to like find, it's not like a rare pair, but it was just rare in general for me to find like good fanfic for that. And I'm fine with that because I'm used to it. And also I feel like when it's rare, when you do find it, it's just like more enjoyable.
It's like a diamond in the rough when you do find something.
Exactly, that diamond in the rough effect. Would you rather see your OTP shatter years after their happily ever after, or never have their happily ever after happen in the first place?
This is so tragic. I mean, Lord knows I've read my share of like unrequited love fics, but you know what? I might just go with the second just because of that like we could have had it all sort of thing. Like it hurts so bad, but there's also like this bittersweetness to it that like can hit different.
That's exactly what I was thinking as well. It's more about like the journey between the two, whether that's like pining or yearning or whatever. So I don't need to see that resolution. I just want to see them yearn for each other.
Would you rather read a poorly written but complete fanfic or a literary masterpiece but last updated June 2013?
I would rather go with the literary masterpiece that was last updated in June 2013 because I'm used to things not being complete and not having closure. So, you know, it'll just be like another thing to add to the file for me.
There's so many like not great complete fics out there, and even if like a literary masterpiece is incomplete, you still really remember it and you can have little endings in your head, you know? Would you rather read SSSS plus tier smut or 70k words worth of fluff?
I will I'm gonna go with fluff because I just prefer fluff overall, and when I want smut, I prefer it as just like a one and done kind of deal.
See, okay, maybe it's because I've been in like the dark depths of bad smut.
You just want some smut. I get it.
So I love fluff and like I adore fluff and like I need fluff to like, you know, bolster up the hardships of life. But 70k words worth of fluff, I need a little bit of like, you know, something thrown in there. Good smut, it's hard to find really, really, really good smut. No like tongues battling for dominance or like brown orbs in sight.
So what I'm realizing from this conversation is that I have very low standards when it comes to smut, because even if it's written badly, like I just need my fix to like get my horn dog out of the way, and then like I'm fine with it. I gotta get what I gotta get. Would you rather be able to read only alternate universe fanfics or only canon/canon divergent fanfics?
I often gravitate towards AUs. I honestly rarely read in canon stuff unless like I really, really love the universe. AUs, there's so many different AUs out there. So it's like one moment you could be reading, you know, Coffee Shop AU. The next, it could be like a Pacific Rim AU or like a Star Wars AU. And there's so many options. Whereas canon, it may be cool, but you're limited to just that universe.
I feel like I'm actually the opposite. And I don't know if that just means I'm not very creative, but I don't know. I kind of prefer to sticking within the universe of the original source material. So I'm gonna stick with canon just to keep it simple. Would you rather introduce fanfics to your normie friend with an ongoing smut fic with great writing, or a complete fluff fic with terrible writing?
So there's an issue with both of these in that if you show your friend this smut, it's smut, and they're like, why the heck are you showing me like this porn, basically? With the fluff, that's terrible, even though it's fluff and like wholesome or whatever, the writing is still bad. And so you're feeding into that perception of like, oh, fanfic is just, you know, bad writing.
But then the first one also feeds into that perception of like, oh, fanfic is just like a bunch of smut.
That's true.
Which stigma are you going to perpetuate?
Maybe I'd go with the fluff just so I could be like, okay, the writing's not great, but look, it's wholesome and it's cute.
See, I'm gonna go with the opposite route and show the smut fic with the great writing, because I feel like the great writing will salvage it in my mind. Like, I don't understand why a normie friend would be so turned off by like a smut fanfic when they probably, you know, watch porn or something. Like, what's the difference, basically? At least this one has great writing.
You know what? I changed my mind because I'm going with the first one because I'm thinking to 50 Shades of Grey. Yeah, they think that that's, yeah, if it's good, well-written smut, they can handle it. Would you rather read your notp with all your favorite tropes and perfect characterization, or your otp with tropes you despise and inconsistent characterization?
This is kind of a surprising answer for me, but I'm actually going to go with the first one. I think I would be interested in seeing how the notp could be pulled off with my favorite tropes and characterization, because I want to see if I can be converted. I could be like, oh, I understand now why that ship is a thing. I see the appeal.
Because yeah, like this is really tricky. Like, thanks, Dan. I'm thinking like of my notps, like I really don't like consuming content with them, but I think I hate inconsistent characterization more. So I might just go with the former, just because I'd rather have, you know, I know what to expect rather than have like the characters I love be like butchered.
Would you rather read the fic with an interesting concept but very poor writing, or read a fic with an uninteresting / boring concept with really good writing?
The latter for sure.
Wait, the latter?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think I think I would do the same. Oh, that's hard though. Like, I'm trying to write a book right now, and I feel like I could at least benefit from reading a book with good writing. Like, maybe I can absorb the skill through osmosis with my eyeballs. So I feel like there's more to gain from there. I think, you know what? When it comes to fanfic, I might actually go with the interesting concepts but poor writing. Ooh. But when it comes to books, I'll go with the boring concept with good writing. With fan fiction, I think it's a way for me to like indulge in something and just like have something to imagine and daydream about. And when you have an interesting concept, even if the writing is poor, I can still like try to write it in my head.
I'm just thinking to the disappointment I felt when like seeing a really cool concept, clicking on it, and then realizing that I can't vibe with the writing. Whereas like I've seen like boring concepts in fan fiction that, you know, I was like, oh, like the premise is okay. But after I started reading it, it was like, wow, the writer's doing a really good job of like, you know, describing the scenery or in tune with the characterization. So I can get behind it more readily.
Damn, you're convincing me now. Okay, fine. I'll hop back onto the good writing.
Join me.
Man, out of all these questions, I guess this one tripped me up the most. But yeah, you convinced me to go with the good writing. Also, I'm gonna drink miso soup.
We're gonna get some nice ASMR slurping sounds for you. A bald hoe asks, would you rather have a major character death or have a share one bed scene, but it's a ship you hate?
You know, I'm going to go ahead and just put up with the sharing one bed scene with a ship that I hate.
Maybe it's like a life or death scenario.
Saving that other character's life by putting up with this foolishness.
And it's very temporary. Character death is forever.
Yes, exactly. And you know, sharing one bed, it can be economical. Would you rather read a fan fiction that has constant grammar and spelling mistakes, or one that the characters are wildly different than canon?
The first one. I can't deal with out of character fics. Like if I see any OCC in the tags, I'm not gonna touch it.
Yeah, I am exactly the same way, because even if it had grammar or spelling mistakes, I can correct it in my head. But then if the characters are wildly different from canon, that's just like going way off the rails. Would you rather have every fanfic include Jackson Wang, or every fanfic include at least one not safe for work moment?
I explained to Cindy before that Jackson Wang is a member of the boy group GOT7, and in every K-pop fic ever, pretty much, he will be throwing a party in which the love interest in question will meet. He is the catalyst for every relationship in a K-pop fic. No matter what band you stand, Jackson Wang's gonna be there throwing a party. With that being said, I think it'd be really, really funny just to have Jackson Wang show up in like a fic, regardless if it's K-pop or not. Like, I'm imagining I'm reading a Star Wars fic, and out of nowhere, Jackson Wang like pops up on the Millennium Falcon's like, "Hey, I'm throwing a party on Canto Bite."
Or they're like in the middle of a war, and then Jackson Wang pops up.
Yeah, just for the entertainment value, I'm going with the Jackson Wang option.
You know, this is like a question where I actually want both. What if we had a fanfic where every one of them had one NSFW moment and it had Jackson Wang?
The two usually go hand in hand because you know what happens at parties.
Would you rather read the most absolutely messed up dead dove with your most wholesome ship, or subject yourself to 100,000 words of your notp all written in a solid block with no punctuation and horrible grammar?
This is evil. Imagining my notp in the worst scenario is more to me than having to put up with a dead dove with my wholesome ship.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with dead dove as well. I'm not gonna enjoy either one, but I feel like 100,000 words of your notp with no punctuation and horrible grammar, it just sounds like there's worse things in that option compared to like dead dove.
And like dead dove, I don't know, maybe you'll discover something new about yourself.
Would you rather have the power to read every fanfic in existence and read every new one as soon as it comes out, even if it's written in a language you don't know, or have the power to make any and all the ships you want canon?
Canon.
Definitely.
Yeah, me too. I don't need to read every fanfic or book in existence because I feel like that would be really overwhelming.
It'd be like that scene in Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull where like she's like, ah, and her head explodes. Well, the second one, like, that's dangerous. You turn into like Light Yagami, you know, like I am the god of the fanfic world. Yeah. But dude, imagine if you shipped real people and then you had that power.
Oh, wow, I didn't even think about that. I'm stuck in my fictional world. I'm not gonna mess with real life.
If you could make any ship you wanted canon, could you make you X someone else?
Yeah, I think you could, but I don't want to mess with that.
Yeah.
There's too much power and I want to use it responsibly.
Would you rather have your OTP get together in canon, but one of them dies in a tragic way, or have all members of your OTP survive, but get together with other people?
So I don't know if this is a surprising answer, but I actually would rather have them get together in canon, but one of them dies in a tragic way, because I don't want them to get together with other people. Like that, to me, that's worse than them dying. It's about the principle. Would you rather read a cringy 70 chapter Harry Styles Mafia AU or a high school K-pop AU, Your Name fic with horrible grammar? I don't know. I feel like the first one will be more fun for me. Harry Styles Mafia. And I think it's because for me, I'm not really into high school AU, nor am I into K-pop, nor am I into Your Name. Harry Styles, like, I know the dude, and I don't know, maybe he could be like a cool mafia boss.
It'd be funny just picturing Harry Styles as like the leader of a gang being like, we're gonna do this heist, guys.
We're gonna sneak in and everyone's gonna wear skirts.
The other one, like exactly the same wavelength. I don't read high school AUs. I have seen way too many like K-pop YN stuff like on Wattpad. I'm sick of seeing it everywhere. And horrible grammar, I just cannot do. So the cringy 70 chapter Harry Styles, it'd be entertaining.
I don't think that type of fanfic is like common, right? As opposed to like wait, is it?
They're both pretty common, I'd say.
Wow, I didn't know that was like a thing. Mm-hmm. Harry Styles, what have you been up to? It's getting cold, so I'm gonna put on my Snuggie.
So we finished the community questions. We're gonna break out our secret stash now. Would you rather accidentally send your boss a super detailed smut fic, or have to read a super detailed smut fic about your boss?
Oh, I would rather read the smut fanfic about my boss. I feel like that would be like more entertaining. Like there's more repercussions with sending a smut fanfic to your boss versus you just reading something really weird about your boss. You know what's funny? I actually do think that there's probably fanfiction written about like my big boss. Because I work at Twitter, so I bet you there's fan fiction written about the CEO of Twitter, him and Mark Zuckerberg or something like that.
Hey, I'd read that.
What would you pick?
The second one, probably. Even though like it would probably like pain me thinking about like some of the bosses I've had in the past. It'd just be like, oh no, it would have less repercussions than accidentally sending them something.
I actually have like a similar question, but it's not the same thing. So maybe I can read that one. So my question is, would you rather read a smut fanfic out loud to your parents or accidentally submit smut fanfic to the employer of your dream job?
You know what? I could apply to another job. It's okay.
This is your dream job.
Oh my god. Just the idea of like reading smut aloud to my parents is like absolutely mortifying, and like I know it taint their view of me forever.
Yeah, I think I would go with the second one as well. Like if you do the first one, that will just follow you, you know, as opposed to like the other one. Okay, you might not get your dream job, but you know, you'll just look for another job.
So in a fic, would you rather be the one who's pining after your oblivious love interest, or would you rather find out that you've been the oblivious love interest all along?
Oh, 100% I want to be the oblivious love interest, because every time I talk about like pining or yearning, I don't want to be the one doing that. I want the other person to be doing that for me. I feel like there's a lot of power in being the oblivious one. You don't have to deal with like the emotional turmoil or the angst, and you have the upper hand in that. So I would 100% be that.
Although I'm thinking about the first option where like they have a realization and they chase you down in the rain and like they also confess, you know, I like you too.
No, I want the upper hand every time.
You know what? I've been in the pining situation several times. I think it'd be nice to have a change of like being the oblivious love interest. So I'll go with the second one as well. Cindy, what if we're both the oblivious love interest here?
I was literally about to say that. What a weird thing that would be. Anyway, oh, you know what? This question is kind of related because we're talking about, you know, pining and unrequited. Would you rather have Hanahaki disease, or would you rather have your soulmate's first words to you tattooed on a visible part of your body, but then their first words are something really stupid? Like they say like, hey, dumbass, and then you have to get that tattooed.
I actually read a similar fic to that where like the first words like are on your body. And because of that, this, like the person with the tattoo of that was like bullied all their life.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So angsty.
I'd probably go for the tattoo option just because Hanahaki could freaking die from that. I don't want to like test my chances with death.
Yeah. But where are you going to fit that tattoo among all the other tattoos of the fan fiction you've read? You get a tattoo and you're like, wait, is this like a fanfic I read or the first words that my soulmate has
You wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know.
Oh my god, that would be angsty.
I think I'm gonna go with the tattoo as well because I don't want to deal with Hanahaki. And I feel like, I don't know, the tattoo could be an interesting story.
Would you rather be an alpha, beta, or omega in an AVO world?
Oh, this is fun. Okay, so I'm not super familiar with like what's the difference between beta and omega? Omega is the lowest one.
Alphas are gonna be like the machismo warrior provider sort of people, and they have those ruts where like they want to like screw everything in their path. They're like the highest regarded rank. And then betas are like the working people. They're gonna be like your standard person, and they don't really have ruts or heats most of the time, and they can't really reproduce. And then omegas are the ones who have the babies, but they're usually looked down upon because, oh, like, all you're good for is like having babies. They're highly desired, but you have those heats where like you just want to be screwed like for however long. Oh
man. Okay, see, the thing is, I think I want to be an omega so I can get screwed, but I don't want babies. So I was like smiling the whole time because as you were explaining, I was like, I want to be an omega, am I? But I really don't want kids. That's the thing. Do betas like not deal with heat at all?
Betas never have to deal with heats or ruts.
But then wait, so do alphas only screw omegas? Do alphas screw betas too?
So that could be like another angst part of this. So if an alpha and beta fall in love, the beta often feels like, why are you in love with me when I can't, you know, satisfy your rut or whatever?
Oh, that's so hard. Damn. See, the thing is, I want to be like a beta so that I don't have to deal with kids.
There is birth control in these universes a lot of the time.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
But then omegas are expected to give kids, right?
It could be another thing where like, oh, maybe they can't have kids or like they don't want to and so like they're on birth control and they're defying society.
Ooh, okay. That's gonna be me then. I'm gonna be an omega that defies society by not having any kids, but I'll still I'll still get screwed.
Screw society and me. I can empathize with your omega plight of like wanting to be screwed. But honestly, I feel like I'd want to be a beta just so that I don't have to deal with like heats or ruts and like all the fluids that entail. I could just, you know, mind my business, do my work. I love how neither of us jumped on like alpha because it's just like, nah.
No, I could never be like an alpha. That's too much work. I don't want to deal with that. Okay, so this is my last one. Wait, actually, this is kind of related too. Would you rather read a fanfic where the characters turn into furries or a fanfic where the characters all get pregnant? Everyone.
Okay, no shame to furries, first of all. I would probably the second one.
Really? Yeah.
It's like I just
You're really not into furries, huh?
I'm
That
not.
you would rather have every single person be pregnant. You know we have an overpopulation problem.
I'm imagining like my favorite ships going on dates and doing cute things, but they're just stuck in fursuits the entire time, and it kills the dream for me. Whereas like, I could deal with some mpreg if I have to.
You can't deal with fursuits, but you can deal with the baby bump.
I'm gonna get canceled for this, guys. Bye.
So I can't, like, I have no interest in pregnancies at all. Like, pregnancies are such a turnoff to me. I don't want any character I read about getting pregnant. I don't want to get pregnant. I just don't want to deal with that at all.
Mhm.
So I want to go with furries.
Understandable.
Wait, is Zen a furry?
I don't think he would be a furry, but I do think he could dabble. If you were into it, he would be into it for you. I believe that.
Oh, what a king.
Final question. Would you rather be able to resurrect and bring back fics that were discontinued and on hiatus? Or have the power to create a plethora of new fics effortlessly?
Oh, when you say create a plethora of new fics, like, am I writing it? Or is it just like I'm conjuring up all these fics from like all kinds of people? When you stumble across a fanfic, you know, when it says the author, who's the author?
God? It's neither written by someone else nor you. It's just it just exists. It just exists and it's something you like.
Yeah, I will go with that second option. That sounds like you have more power and range to just conjure up whatever you want, as opposed to like, yeah, it sucks if it wasn't continued, but on the other hand, you could conjure up any other fic that you want. Yeah. I still find it so funny that you would rather have everyone be pregnant than deal with furries.
Well, this was fun.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course.
I learned so much about you, like what you like and what you will not stand for.
Yeah, maybe in another life, in an AU somewhere, like I could be the beta to your omega.
Oh my God, yeah, our college coffee shop AU.
If you want to check out Cindy, check out her YouTube channel at With Cindy. Any other plugs?
No, not really. I'm just happy to be here.
Can I ask if I can hop on your channel at some point?
Yeah, that would be awesome. I would have to think of some idea for it.
Ooh, wait, what if like people write fanfic about us and then we can do that for your channel?
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
We're gonna have to speak to the Wattpad hordes and be like, hey, new mission for y'all.
Thank you again for watching, and I will see you, and Cindy will see you, hopefully, in our next videos.
Bye. Bye.